Hello, future Lyndhurst Giants. My name is Mr. Horning, and I am the guidance director here at the Lyndhurst 7th and 8th grade center, as well as the counselor for the Galaxy team. The purpose of this video is to give you an inside look into our facilities, as well as meet some of the important people you're going to be working with next year as you transition to our building. So we want to welcome you. Currently I'm outside in the wind and rain. I'm going to make my way into the Grand Hall, and that's where we will begin our tour. So welcome to the Lyndhurst 7th and 8th grade center. The Grand Hall has some of our key offices here at Lyndhurst. We have our main office, which is up on the left of your video, and it's over there. And then we have our nurse's office, which is over here on the right. And then as I spin around, well, actually next to the nurse's office, we also have our athletic office. As you see on some of the walls, you see some of our student athletes. You see various awards that have been given to, like over here in the trophy case, various awards and trophies that have been awarded to our students. And I'm gonna slowly spin without making you sick this way. And we'll come across our bookstore, which is up here on the right. Our bookstore, as you can see, hanging some of the apparel you can buy, some of the Lyndhurst apparel. You also can buy school items as you need it, pens, pencils, markers, poster board, whatever you need. We have it here. And we also sell these famous slushies here, here in the bookstore. Obviously, they're not up and running today. So I'm gonna pan out and I'm gonna make my way to what I would call the heart of the building. And the heart of the building is our cafeteria. This is some place you're going to spend every day at when you're here at the Lyndhurst 7th and 8th grade center. It is the sort of the center of the building. And in the center of the building, you see this is where you're going to eat lunch. You also see in the background, you see 4 different lunch lines. You'll have a variety of options for food here at Lyndhurst. And I'm gonna work my way around, and we are now talking to our 6th graders who will be coming here next year.
Awesome, future Giants. Well, hello, good morning. I'm Mr. Wilson. I'm the principal here at Lyndhurst 7th and 8th grade center. I've been here a good while. I'm not only the principal at Lyndhurst, I'm also a Lyndhurst dad, as my children go here as well. And you'll get to meet a couple of them, I'm sure, in the future. But we are just super, super excited to have you coming to become Giants. And in fact, it's kind of funny you catch me just now because you can see some amazing Giants behind me who have come in on a Friday on their own time because they want to work hard and they want to get their grades up or keep their grades up. And they don't know this right now, but they're going to get a nice little reward for coming in today. But anyway, that's how Giants are. They're dedicated, they're awesome, they're just fun to be around, and that's why I love my job as principal here. Couple of quick things that you want to know. This is our cafeteria, and another awesome thing about being a Lyndhurst Giant is these ladies that run the cafeteria and do the cooking for us provide us with awesome food. One of my favorite things about Lyndhurst Center is how those ladies take care of us, and you get choices with your food. I'm pretty sure sometimes in elementary school there aren't very many choices. Here, there's going to be some choices, and the food is outstanding. Another thing you might notice is I'm wearing a lanyard, and you're going to be assigned to a team. And your team will have a name and colors, like there's the Titan team, the Magic team, there's the Galaxy team, and the Elite team. And they each have their own color, and they wear their lanyards. And you're required to wear your lanyard at all times during the school day. If you catch me without my lanyard, because I have to wear mine too, if I'm going to ask you to do something, I'm going to do it too, okay? If you catch me without my lanyard and you have yours on during the school day, you get a prize, all right? And it's usually something pretty cool. It might be a $5 McDonald's gift card. It might be a bag of M&Ms. It could be giant bucks that you can use for other rewards, things like that. But you definitely get a prize. Now, don't get your hopes up, because I may be an old guy, but I don't forget to wear this very often, okay? It happens, and you got to be alert when it does. but some, you know, it's hard to catch me that way. Also, if I'm wearing a name badge, that counts. That's the same thing as if I wear this, okay? Because sometimes Dr. Butts will come to our school, and when Dr. Butts comes in here, I put my suit jacket on and I put that badge on, and some kid will come up to me and go, "Oh, I caught you without your lanyard." No, the badge counts. And then there's one more thing. If you catch me on a Saturday at Walmart in Avon, don't get all excited that I don't have my lanyard on, okay? Because I'm not wearing it then, and the rules end at the end of the school day, okay? But we have a lot of fun around here. You're gonna come to Lyndhurst and you're gonna work hard because you're gonna prepare to be Ben Davis Giants, but we're also gonna have a lot of fun while you're here, and I can't wait to meet you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Wilson. I will also tell you that Mr. Wilson is a Jeep guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, loves his Jeeps.
We like to get them muddy, don't we?
And a Hot Wheel collector.
Yes,
Very
you can
nice.
come in my office and see my Hot Wheel collection. I've got Godzilla in there, and I've also got a Master Chief helmet. So you video gamers, I'm a gamer too.
Very good. All right, sir.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
Take care.
All right, sixth graders, I'm going to make my way slowly down the hallway here. And we are, as you can tell, well, maybe cannot tell from this video, that we kind of have two sides to the school. Over on that side, way over there, is our, next year for you will be our 8th grade side. But you coming in as 7th graders will be on this side next year. And so as we make our way down the 7th grade side, what I want you to, we're going to go down and meet your 7th grade counselor for next year. Her name is Miss Aders, and she will be out here in a second as I make my way down. But you can see this is a long hallway, but it actually branches off to the sides because, like Mr. Wilson said, we do operate on teams, and you'll be on a what we call a quad with your team. And most of your classes, well, all of your required classes, all of your classes will be on your quad and with your team. Some other things about Lyndhurst as I make my way down to Miss Aders. We do have a 9:10 start time and school is over at 4:10. And that's something to keep in mind. We have a motto here at Lyndhurst, which is expect excellence. And speaking of excellence, I'm rolling up on Miss Aders. She's our outstanding counselor and will be the 7th grade counselor next year. So I'm gonna shut up and let Miss Aders talk.
Hi, like Mr. Horning said, I am going to be the 7th grade counselor next year. Our 7th grade teams, I don't know if they've been mentioned yet, but we have Magic, Elite, Titan, and 7th grade Galaxy. So I heard a little bit mentioning of our quad setup. That is correct. We are majority on our quad. We will have classes outside of our quad, but those will be your elective classes. I wanted to go ahead and show you kind of what our lockers look like. A lot of students coming into the 7th grade get excited about having lockers. This is one of our lockers. It will be in your quad. So your locker should be right next to your math class or your language arts class so that you don't have to worry about getting from your locker to your class in the amount of time that we have. We have 5 minutes to get from class to class, and that's plenty of time once you get used to our setup. As it was stated, we have 2 main hallways, the 7th grade and the 8th grade. So you will be mostly in your 7th grade hallway. The only reason you would go into an 8th is if that you had a class that maybe was an elective class in an 8th grade hallway. Besides that, there's nothing really I have else to discuss. Oh, I did want to kind of make note of our library over here. We do have a nice library set up. You will often maybe come to this with your language arts class. You might have some classes set up in the library where you can go ahead and rent books, and you can always come in during your impact class and get a book if you would like that as well.
Miss Aders, did you mention what the required classes were specifically?
Yeah.
You did. Okay.
So I did kind of glaze over it. We have the 4 required classes are math, science, social studies, and language arts. We also do require PE and health.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good, because that's a good transition to as I pan away from Miss Aders and go head down. We're going to meet one of our other counselors by the name of Miss Shaw. So Miss Shaw, how are you? And please share with our sixth graders.
Welcome, sixth graders, to Lynhurst. I'm Miss Shaw, and I am a counselor here right now I have 7th and 8th grade. So I'm really excited about you guys coming here next year, and I know you're excited. I'm going to tell you just a little bit about our electives that we have. Someone already mentioned your PE and your health. We already talked about music and choir and band and orchestra, but there's a couple other ones that you might see on your schedule. One where you see PLTW, and that stands for Project Lead the Way. And the 7th graders, you'll get an introduction to your STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. When you go to the 8th grade, PLTW has robotics, automation robotics, and it has metal detectives. So in the 7th grade, what you do is learn the basics of those 2 classes when you go into the 8th grade. We also have art. In art, you have your basic drawing, your painting, you have ceramics and pottery. So you also have you might have that on your schedule. And another one is really, I think it's important to everybody, is business computers. Well, you learn the basic of computers. You might think, oh, I already know about computers. But then you're going to learn a little bit more detail about programming and where it'll help you in the future as far as working on your assignments.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Shaw. And as we continue our discussion of electives, I'm going to turn the corner here, and there are 3 key electives that really will help determine which direction you go at Lyndhurst and beyond. So I'm going to leave Ms. Shaw and some of the PLTW and STEM things you can see here in the cabinet. And there were obviously, hopefully you saw some art as we went down the hallway. But I'm going to make my way down to our music department. And in the music department, we have 3 key classes for you to consider as 6th graders. We have band, orchestra, and choir. And these are one of the courses. You can pick one of these courses as you move into 7th grade if you're interested. So I'm going to make a right turn, and I'm going to see if Miss Benson is available. Miss Benson is our choir teacher, our fabulous choir teacher, and she's at her desk, and I'm going to pan to her and allow her to talk a little bit about her program. Let me get a shot of her room for you and see how it's set up. I believe these are called risers. I'm not a choir person. You don't want to hear me sing. So I'm going to let Miss Benson talk to you a little bit.
Hello, 6th graders. My name is Mrs. Benson. I'm the choir teacher here. I am so excited for you to come to Lyndhurst, and I hope that you select choir. In here, we learn how to sing, how to use your voice, how to breathe properly so that you don't damage your voice. We get used to singing parts, and we learn how to read music, how to sight read. We also do some choreography and some dancing. There are 7th grade and 8th grade choirs, and also you have the opportunity to try out for our show choir. So I'm gonna ask Mr. Horning if he would just come around.
Sure.
So that you can see, I have a clip of one of our show choirs so you can get an idea of what that's like.
Okay, I got it on the screen here.
And the show choir is in an audition group. It's for 7th and 8th grade. And we meet early on Tuesdays and Thursdays to get ready for performances. And we do a lot of outside performances as well. So that gives you an idea of what our show choir looks like.
And Miss Benson, these are 8th graders?
These are 7th
and 8th graders. Awesome. I don't know that I've seen a 7th or 8th grade show choir before, but that's awesome.
Okay, and then I'm going to give you a little bit of a peek at one of our 8th grade choirs. That's our show choir, and this is one of the 8th grade groups at their final performance. inside of our auditorium. So at the end, well, actually we have about 4 concerts a year. And we meet in the auditorium. They're free to your parents, just so that they can get an idea of what you all sound like. And we also do competition in March. At Christmas time, we travel to the Arts Garden and perform in the mall and have lunch there. So we do a lot of things throughout the year, and I would love to have you be a part of our program. So when you're looking at those selection sheets, don't forget to think about choir. Would love to have you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Miss Benson. I personally thought I knew a lot about choir, and then having heard you speak there, I learned all sorts of things that I didn't know. So very good. So choir is an excellent option. And again, Miss Benson, I've gotten to know her this year. She's an excellent person and an excellent teacher. So you're welcome. And I'm going to head down to our next stop in the music hallway. And I'm going to go to the back first. And I apologize if I'm walking too quickly. I don't want to make you sick on this tour. But I'm going to get down here and I want to talk to Miss Vance. Miss Vance is our orchestra teacher. And so orchestra and band are our final stops here. And I'm going to have Miss Vance talk about orchestra so we don't confuse it with band. And she is an expert and she will talk to us. Hi, Miss Vance.
Hey guys, I'm real glad to see you. This is the orchestra room here at Lyndhurst. We teach the string instruments. So this is a violin. This is one of the instruments we have available here. So that's violin. We also have viola. This is viola. Viola is a scholarship instrument. It's one of those instruments that colleges need. So they pay for kids to go to college to play viola. So viola is like a little bigger violin. It's really cool, and we have kids that are going to be math teachers or scientists that are getting paid to go to college just because they play viola. The next one I have for you is cello. If you've seen the piano guys, you know all about cello. So this is cello. You sit down. This is when you would have a cello at your house and a cello at school. You don't have to carry this every day. The last one I have is bass. Bass
That's a big one.
is the big one. And it's super cool because you can do lots of different things with bass. You can pluck it like in a rock band. Or you can play it an orchestra, and we would love to see lots of you come out and try our instruments next year.
Awesome. Miss Vance, I want to tell you I'm impressed. You picked up 4 different instruments. You played them all well. And I appreciate the Star Wars homage there. So,
Cool.
All right. Thank you so much. And I'm going to...
Have a great year, guys.
All right. I'm going to pan back. I just saw our band guy running. He knows I'm on the way. So Mr. Nydecker is one of our band teachers, and again, we left orchestra. I want to make sure you know the difference between orchestra and band. Miss Vance explained a little bit of that. So I'm walking into band, and Mr. Nydecker is here. There's actually 2 teachers. Miss Watson, I believe, is not here, and so Mr. Nydecker is going to talk to you a little bit if I don't fall coming down.
Yeah, come on down.
Yep, and that would be a disastrous video.
Oh yeah.
If I wipe out, you guys might laugh, but
Yeah, welcome
I won't.
to the band room. This
Okay.
is our big old band room here. I'm Mr. Nydecker. Myself and Mrs. Watson are the 2 band directors here at Lyndhurst. And we also have actually one more percussion instructor who comes in to work with our beginning percussion students. Right next to me, you'll see all of the band instruments that we have available for you to learn. Right here, closest to me, are the brass instruments. These are instruments made of metal that you make a sound with by going into a mouthpiece, into this metal mouthpiece. You probably hear brass instruments like the trumpet and the trombone in all of the popular music that you listen to every day. But we've got bigger stuff too, like the euphonium and the tuba, which is huge, and the French horn here, which is sort of a special instrument. Further down, we've got our woodwind instruments. Most of these instruments, you make the sound by blowing really fast air into a tube with a little piece of wood that vibrates. This right here is the oboe. We have the flute. We have two types of saxophone, the alto saxophone and the tenor saxophone. The tenor saxophone is bigger. And these are usually used for jazz, so you might hear these in your hip hop and pop music as well. We have the clarinet here. And our biggest woodwind instrument, the bassoon, which is another pretty special instrument. And finally, we have just a couple examples here of percussion instruments. Percussion is basically anything that you hit with your hand or a stick to make a noise. So here we have the snare drum, and we have a glockenspiel. And if you want to pan all the way up to the back of the room, that's our biggest drum, the bass drum. And if we combine some of these drums and put them all next to each other, we'll get a drum kit, which you have definitely heard before in pop music, rock music, hip hop music, pretty much everywhere. That's a pretty popular instrument. So if you decide to take band, you'll have your choice of any one of these instruments, and we will be happy to work with you to find the best one for you. In band, we will learn how to read music, how to play all the notes on these instruments, and we'll work together with the other students to play cool music, whether it's classical music, jazz music, or even the music that you guys listen to on the radio every single day. So I hope that this has kind of piqued your interest a little bit, and maybe we can have a big old band next year full of seventh graders.
Thank you, Mr. Neidecker. It's awesome. I learned a lot too. And sixth graders, I'm going to step off the tour for a second. It's now to put all this information together and figure out the class or classes that suit you, the individual. We want you to be in the classes you want to be in. And we know that you will do better and you'll be happier when you're in classes that you select and classes that reflect you and your personality. So with that said, the final part of the process is the Google form that your teacher may have shared with you or will share with you. And the Google form is pretty self-explanatory. Just a few questions: first name, last name. It's going to ask you which elementary school you attend, and then it's going to ask you, are you interested in band, orchestra, choir, or you just want to do the elective group and have a little bit of all of our electives. So that is kind of the critical decision, because the last question reflects the students who choose band, orchestra, or choir, then have another option for an elective. So again, just read the form. It's straightforward. It's pretty self-explanatory, but we need every sixth grader to complete it. And for now, I'm going to jump back into the tour for one final thought. And I think we are about ready to finish the tour, and we will see you next year.